So my county, Montgomery County Public Schools, this is a story fresh off the presses, except there aren't any more presses. But my wife is a teacher, and we were talking about this. This is the X account for MCPS, and they're bragging, look, the superintendent's A&S meeting. I don't know what A&S means, administrators and something, but basically it was all the principals and vice principals throughout the county. And it's a huge public school system with billions of dollars, I believe, in their budget every year. So they're psyched because they had inspiration from two powerhouses, Anurupa Ganguly, who I have to admit I did not know who she was, but I looked her up, and Colin Kaepernick, former NFL quarterback, driving change and championing justice. And I love the response from Swing State, because this is what everyone's immediate response was. We don't care about your inspiration. How much of our tax money is going to these people? What does this have to do with our public schools?
Yeah.
Do you have an answer to that? Because I sure don't.
I don't either. I always wonder when you see, because in my just previous jobs and stuff, I've done work in not Montgomery County school system, but just work around like Anne Arundel County school system stuff on the organizing side of like community members. And I know that there's been previous just different school systems throughout the state and just country have had like these where they've paid for like different speakers to come in and stuff. And I always wonder, like, who's that for? It's like, who are these speakers for? Are they for just kind of like the publicity and say, hey, look what we can do? Is this the version of like, hey, instead of like raising wages for teachers or like investing in them and giving them like free school supplies, is this the version of like a pizza party? Like, what's the end goal? Because I feel like it would be better used to like say, hey, we're going to pay for all the teachers and staff to go to like a conference and learn about different techniques for teaching kids, different systems that we're going to have and things like that. But if it's just like, hey, come just listen to these people talk. Okay, just send me a video.
It's like a TED Talk. There you see, this is a picture that this came from the MCPS X feed. There's Anurupa Ganguly or Ganguly. I'm sorry, I mispronounced her name. She's a big virtual, those helmets. What do you call them? Virtual
VR.
reality. Yep. Right, VR. So that's her thing. And she's got a company. And she sells schools she licenses to schools these helmets. And there you can see it is like a TED Talk. We can visualize. I'm standing up there. I've got a little rocking chair there. And I'm like, again, why is my tax money going for this? I bet she didn't. I bet she waived her fee, because I think for her, this was a sales pitch. I think they don't tell. And this was what my wife said too. One more point, Carlos, because I'm kind of dirty in the mouth, but she made the point. There's no transparency. No one knows why they did this. It's never been set out. There's no explanation. This is what we hope to hear. This is how Colin Kaepernick can help us be better administrators. Because isn't that the whole point? I mean, isn't that why you would do it?
Yeah. Wait. So even to like teachers and staff, they're not given an explanation of like, hey, this is why we're doing this. This is what we hope to achieve out of it. Because for me, when you told me about this and said that Colin Kaepernick was going to be there, I'm thinking, oh, okay, cool. If it's like football related or it's like sports teams related, then cool. Like he actually can talk about, hey, here's some stuff y'all can do. Here's like different training techniques, or just like inspiration for like kids who want to be football players, sure, or just sports players. But what, like, does he doesn't have like a degree in education last time I checked, or he doesn't have a degree in like public schools, like does anything with school systems of like. So what, like, who is this for? I always wondered, like, is this just for like the superintendent people to be like, hey, I just want to have these cool things happening, or what is it? Wow.
This is from the Celebrity Speakers Bureau, that number 50 to 100,000. I don't know where it came from. I presume they know, but that's the number that's been bandied around for his fee. And obviously the school system, they spend billions, they can afford it, but the look is really bad. And again, he's not, as far as I know, Kaepernick is not an educator. He was a okay NFL quarterback. He did lead the 49ers, but he tried to be as honest. He led them to the Super Bowl. They lost. He didn't play particularly well in the Super Bowl. He was a good quarterback. He was decent. He was ultimately drummed out of the league because he took a knee during the national anthem, and I believe that was why. He was good enough to at least be a backup. It wasn't great. He was okay. But he was good enough that he should have stuck around, except that he made a political statement that they didn't like. Okay, fine. I don't know how that makes you qualified or an appropriate speaker to all. You mentioned sports. Well, if it was about football, then why not have that with the coaches, right? Why not have it with the athletic departments of these schools? But you're meeting with the administrators, the principals. I have zero explanation, and it pisses me off. I'll be honest with you, it really does. It's a waste of money.
Yeah, I think it's weird that there is an explanation, at least to the staff, like saying, "Hey, here's why we're bringing him here. Here's what we hope you get out of this." And like thing from the staff, "Hey, what did you get out of this?" But I'll say, like, I agree with you on the points of like Colin Kaepernick, definitely, not in the weeds about it with him with the football stuff, but like, yeah, I definitely feel like if you led the 49ers to the Super Bowl, you should have at least got it drafted again. But you're right, he took a knee for police brutality, but also for he did a lot of speaking on the fact that a lot of the NFL teams are owned by white people and most of the profit is kept at their level, but and yes, they make a lot of money as football players, but the majority of profit is not shared amongst the players, but also how black people amongst the NFL do not have the kind of power that you would expect them to have when they are.
That's interesting. I wasn't aware that he had spoken out about the economics in the league as well, but I can imagine that would have pissed off the owners a lot more than anything about the police. I don't think they care about that. What they care about is their money, right? They care about keeping as much as they can possibly put in their own pockets, even though they have these basically protected monopolies, no competition. Each city gets one team, maybe two. They share the TV revenue, so you can be an incompetent. Doesn't matter. There are limits to the salaries. There's caps.
NFL now, I believe, owns 25% of like ESPN. So like they have a lot of power. But even on top of that, I mean, you're talking about their even football stadiums, which are funded almost entirely by taxpayer money. So even the billionaires who own the teams aren't the ones who are investing in their own stadiums. And I was talking to somebody about how these kind of stadiums work, and they were mentioning how the like tax revenue that they get from these stadiums are only good for like 25 years. So that's why after every 25 years you hear them say, "Hey, the stadium's getting old. We might have to move to a different city." What government wants to help us pay for this now? Yeah,
the football stadiums have proven over and over again to be a drain, not a benefit for cities. They only have games, usually regular season games, 8, 9 a year now. Maybe there's some playoffs, maybe not. There are these big hulking, relatively these eyesores that are empty virtually every day and night of the year, with a few exceptions. So no, they're not good for the cities. But that's, whatever. Kaepernick, fine, more power to you. If you can get people to pay you $50,000 to speak for an hour, I guess that's great for you. I don't think it should be a public school system spending that money. In a way, though, I'm even more troubled by Anurupa Ganguly's speaking. Anurupa Ganguly. She is the founder of, I think it's called Prisms or something. She pushes this virtual reality in schools. And the question there, this is AEI, so they're neo-lib, they're hardly progressive. And the question, does it work? And I looked through that interview. I didn't come up with an explanation for how it actually does lead to better outcomes for students, because that's presumably what it's all about. Is she getting she like the sister-in-law of somebody on the board of education here? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why they're promoting this, but I want to play this video because this is cool. Let's talk about this. And what do you think, Carlos? So here's the ad.
Oh, their kids are going to love this. I mean, the fact that they do the VR at home all the time with their friends and incorporating this in the classroom, they're already going to know like what's happening. You know, this is very, very cool to like bring their interest into the classroom and engage them in this way.
We're training about 300 teachers across grades 7 to 11 math and science. They're learning about the VR hardware, how to utilize it, what does a 3D graphing calculator look like, what does a 3D interactive graph look like, what does a 3D annotation tool look like. So it's now a whole new set of natural interfaces, and they're learning how to use those natural interfaces.
Students are just sitting, they tend to get jittery, but when they're physically moving around, their brains are activated a lot more. And that's gonna help them to be engaged with that content. I was having a ton of fun just learning how to interact with this stuff, and I almost forgot that I was doing a math problem.
I was this kid that needed something like this, something to engage my mind. And so all I'm seeing through this is just the potential for kids to be engaged further, really grasping onto the material in a different way than they maybe haven't before.
But I'm going to stop that there because it keeps going on. But I mean, I'm not totally rejecting this. I mean, it seems like, yeah, maybe you're learning stuff. And for some kids, you learn differently than others. But I'm not aware, Carl. Maybe let's get your reaction. I mean, what is your sense? Because maybe it's a good idea.
I'm an old person when I say this. I think like this seems like it's more fun for the teachers than it's gonna be for the students.
Games,
because I feel
right?
like if you want to do a video game and I'm gonna learn through a video game, make it a video game. Like make it something more fun. I mean, seeing them move a number line from here to here, and then it has a little animation. It reminds me of like when I was growing up, they had that leapfrog that you learn from. And I'm like, I don't think in leapfrog had, you know, it was big technology back then, but that was back when the computer was like this wide and everything, and it was huge. Now with the VR that we see now and the video games that are out there and the technology, this isn't going to shock anyone. But also, it would be amazing to see how this is normally rolled out in schools, because I can see this being like a predominantly wealthy school thing. Like, okay, this is something cool that like wealthy schools can do, but all of your and I can see, depending on how this goes, them trying to take money out of lower income schools and funnel it to the more wealthier schools and be like, hey, we don't have as much money in the budget, but hey, students, here's a cool VR thing that we're going to use 3 times. I mean, schools can't even give out laptops to kids who need them in hotspots. What are we doing now? Talking about everyone's going to have VR.
Yeah, I don't know about the implementation, how unequal it would be or not. What I'm just concerned about is millions and millions of dollars being spent, and this woman is given an opportunity to make a sales pitch and to present her case for spending. And if you look at the cost, I put it up there, the software license costs $12 per student a year. Now there's over 100,000, there's a couple 100,000, I believe, MCPS students. So that's right there, well over $2-3 million if they all get it. And then you get, but there's also headset, each class set of VR headsets. Then you've got another, that's the license, but then all the equipment. It's expensive. It's really expensive. And unless there's some, I would say, hard data that shows that money is the best way, is spent more effectively and efficiently on this stuff than on anything else, throw it out the window. But I don't think there should be some kind of a give this this person, the CEO of this company, the opportunity to make a sales pitch. That just seems inappropriate to me.
It does. I mean, now, if she was saying, hey, we're going to gift you all these VR headsets, oh, cool, bring her on, let her talk. Heck, bring her. We will name the VR headsets after you if you want to do that. But unless it's that, you're right. Are they just bringing people in to say, hey, pitch this idea so that the superintendent or school board may say, hey, this is good. I would love to see what is the decision of this. Like, do the school board members have any say about these speakers being put in place and stuff? Or is this something that is just the superintendent's purview? Because I would be wondering, how much money are we wasting having these like symposiums? That money could go to teachers, that money can go to students, that money could go to sending everyone to all expense paid conference to learn about different teaching techniques and stuff.
Well, again, no transparency. How was the decision made to invite Ms. Ganguly? What were the factors that weighed into it? Are you considering right now a contract with this company, Prisms? Those are really important and relevant for us to know. But again, government in the dark is a real problem, and we can just talk about it. But
you're right.
I don't really have an answer. Maybe just we can say get more involved, but people are so busy, and we're strapped for time, and we don't have resources. I'll keep following the story, though. Whatever I can get out, I will share. Because I find it very troubling.
I wonder if the teachers union has a position on like when these things get spent on, or they like what their view of this is.